So, welcome to the first episode of the Speakeasy Studios presents the podcast.
The podcast.
The fucking podcast, man. So, this is a brainchild that Travis and I have had going on for quite some time now. For those of you guys that are able to join us, that's fucking great. For those of you guys that are going to setup that we have a whole equipment list
We're still
on.
working up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's only going to go up from here, whereas before I feel like we got this idea, we were super excited about it, and then went into it, and then we were like, oh shit, there's this issue.
Yeah, exactly. A million hangups.
Yeah,
especially after we were all the way ready, and then that happened.
Exactly. And so it's one of those things. It's the have is like as any time that you're working in a studio for anything. I don't care if it's music or like a podcast or whatever, the quality that you actually want.
And two missing cables.
And two missing cables.
Oh, always two
Gear
missing
is so
cables.
Is Travis's girlfriend is over here joining us for our first episode.
She's the best.
She is the best and also is such a huge part of the production of this podcast. So any graphics that you guys see, any artwork that you guys see that's going to be going up to promote this type of stuff, like it's Nichelle. Like Nichelle
also,
does so
any
much.
sanity on my end is directly in correlation. So
yeah, which is also a big deal.
Yeah,
we need you sane.
I mean, yeah, most days. So
Trav, we're here. First
Yep.
episode, first official episode.
Yes.
Because we've done this before, and I actually think that that's a benefit too, because we had a couple of like opportunities to kind of get the dynamic. Now, obviously, we already
moments.
have. Yeah, exactly. Polishing moments is the perfect way to put it. Is like we've had a couple of super fun moments in just the very young project that this is. This is a very young, very new thing. We'll get into the whole backstory. Most of the people that are going to be tuning into this right now are probably going to be members of the Speakeasy page on Spotify, which has gotten so much fucking love since we dropped our album. And it's almost overwhelming in the best way.
Yeah, no, I've never been in like a quote successful anything, and I have 100 listeners, and that's like a lot of people.
Right.
And I'm like,
right. If I check it, we have 1,500 and like over 1,500 streams for this new album that Travis and I are a part of, which is kind of the roots as to why we decided to start the podcast in general, was because we realized that we just dropped the album, when we started the podcast, it was before the album dropped, but we were dropping this album with Mike Craftsman and the Speakeasy, and we realized that not very many people knew who the Speakeasy was. Like we don't have any, and to those of you guys that are wondering, Trav and I are the Speakeasy. He's the bassist and I'm the drummer. And we realized that with this album coming up that we were going to drop, nobody really knew who we were. People that were coming to our shows were going to see Mike Craftsman, who is our vocalist, AJ perform. And this album that we dropped together with Mike Craftsman and the Speakeasy was our first project as a band, as a full band. Yeah, and the amount of love that we've received, like again, I don't speak for you, but like the amount of love that I receive, I wake up every morning since the album has come out to like 15 to 20 notifications of people just being like, I love your guys' music,
likes and
sharing it on their story.
Beyond, like appreciated, and it's
unbelievable. It
really is. It feels unreal.
Yeah,
like
and
it
this
shouldn't
is like,
happen. So thank you.
Dude, for real. Thank everybody thank you to everybody who has gone out there and
especially
taken their time.
anyone who listens to the
yeah, and that's where this
0 viewers. Yeah,
exactly. That's where this whole thing kind of trends from, is because Trav and I have been playing music together for a long. What else we would call you though?
It's just not Michael. I just
𝚘𝚑𝚎. But no, really, none of this podcast stuff happens without Travis's research, without Travis's, and that's actually a point that's important to get to as well, is like the work ethic within this group is so important, and the work ethic that we have as individuals. But aside from that, like, you know, we were talking about earlier how like we don't want to come out with a podcast and have it be a mediocre podcast. You know,
yeah,
like we don't
because it was already a half-baked idea.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So the amount of time that you put in going, okay, this is the equipment that we're going to need to update the studio. First of all, or aside from that, like this beautiful recording space that we have, you know, this isn't Travis's like room, you know, so like this studio that has been set up, a lot of the stuff that's been put together and the backdrops that you guys see, this was all planned. Like this is something that Travis and 𝚘𝚎 have done.
𝚘𝚎 did all the decorating pretty much. So credit to all art and anything that looks good, I guess.
And that's, you know, I mean, we've always been known as like a group, especially since we've been together doing this music stuff, like that does the best with what we have. And I think that I think that's why this podcast is going to be such a fun fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing to put an extra 110% effort in, especially because like we go crazy if we just only play live shows or only practice.
Right.
Everything's maddening.
100%. Like, and this is something that like just recently we went through too, which we have, again, towards the end of the episode, we'll have a little announcement segment that will keep you guys updated on everything that's going on. For Mike Craftsman and the Speakeasy coming up in the future. But, you know, this whole idea, this whole brainchild that we had was such a perfect way to transition from releasing an album, first album that we've officially had together,
ever.
Which is crazy.
We've tried to work together and stuff, but kind of distance and
exactly,
stuff. Yeah,
exactly. This is in 10 years of us, obviously off and on, playing music together. This is the first project that we've been
published
able to really,
one. Yeah,
Fruits of your labor. Yes, dude.
Huzzah!
Yeah, dude, exactly. Huzzah! No, but this project means a lot to me. It really does.
Yeah, no, it's quick. It like immediately became both of our lives.
Yep.
Like, and we like honestly didn't even realize we desperately needed like a life focus like that. Like, because it was already a life passion, but like having it become a focal point was like huge.
And then not really having, and I think one of the things that I think. Well, I'll just say it, like one of the things that sets us apart, like you and I as a band, sets us apart is the fact that we'll say yes to something knowing that like it's a lot to ask and we just get it done.
Yeah,
and
we
just, like,
always
we'll
make it happen. Yeah. If we bomb a practice, AJ's always like, oh yeah, okay, well we always make it happen.
We always make it happen.
You know, there's
and,
that.
Yeah, and it's such a cool dynamic that we have with the three of us that, you know, again, like coming from somebody who strictly like my job in the band is to just play the drums, whereas you and AJ have a lot more. You guys have taken the responsibility.
You're like leveling up into everything though. Like there was just no exposure to you for that at all. Yeah. You know, like
that's true. That's a good point.
There's zero reason for you to open up a laptop and make a beat when you can literally make a beat. Like, it's fair. Super redundant. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a good point. But one thing that I've really enjoyed about working with you and AJ is that like, there's never any like we always find a way to make whatever situation we're dealing with. We always find the way to make the best of it.
Yeah, because they always suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
always.
So it always works.
In the position that we're in right now, like. That's kind of the narrative, right? Is like, yeah, no, it's gonna suck for you guys until it doesn't.
Yep.
You know, and that's like the only thing that we really have to go off of is like, oh yeah, it sucks until it doesn't. Now recently, we've gotten a little bit more leeway, a little bit more. We're not where we want to be, but we're also a lot further than we've ever been in music.
Yeah, someone's actually listening. Like I was doing a project for 6 years and still have 11 monthly listeners. So like this is like crazy, you know, just to have more than
for
one
this
room
project to
fit.
be this project to be able to get the response
so quick. It's surreal and appreciated. Like it's weird. It's weird.
I was thinking about that actually the other night, where it's like, you know, and I think I said it during one of our, I guess we can call them like demo episodes, one of the episodes that we did when we had, and again, I can name
podcast practice.
Yeah, podcast practice, exactly. And I can name this person because I know for a fact that we're having him back on. But when we did our episode, our podcast practice episode with Chris Thorne, you know, he was telling us about how like his experience with music and how he came up and kind of doing all of these things. And throughout that episode, we all had so many moments where we all just kind of like agreed, you know, and it kind of made me feel like after that episode, I really felt like we were on the right path as far as what we were doing.
It's oddly disturbing how different the paths are default.
The last like 10 years, and it's been a very small group.
Yep.
So we were, you know, even as like in school and stuff like that, like I feel like we were very kept to ourselves. Like people kind of knew who I was, but it wasn't for anything important.
They knew us for the new album we were going to show them.
Yeah.
Essentially was my role.
Yeah.
Which was sick.
It's like the music kids.
Yeah. I was headphone guy. People would walk up and pick up the extra headphone and go, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's Weird Al. I'm in 8th grade. Leave me the fuck alone."
Right.
So that's a true story.
Yeah. So when we, I believe it, because when I met you, you had a broken leg and
probably was still listening to Weird Al.
Well, yeah, but probably, but it was more so like I think you and I bonded on like all the bands that people would make fun of people for. So like Attack.
Any cringe shirts.
Yeah. A Day to Remember was like you either loved A Day to Remember or you got made fun of for listening to them. Like that was just kind of the vibe with that. So when we joined AJ and Mike Craftsman, which is his real name's AJ, so I'm gonna refuse to call him Mike Craftsman because that just
it's really hard to do that. Everyone calls him Mike, and I'm like, I answer and go along with it, and then I get confused after the interaction, and I'm like, oh, that was so backwards.
Which is even crazier because your first name is Michael.
Yep.
Your middle name is Travis.
There's 2 Mikes here that are frauds.
Yeah. There's two fraudulent Mikes, bro.
Dude.
We've got Michael McGowan, who really is Travis, because I won't call you Michael either. The only person I'm comfortable calling Mike is Samu.
Yep. He's actually Mike.
Yep. Who we will have on.
Real Mike.
He's going to be episode 2.
Yeah, he comes on in 2 days.
He comes on tomorrow. Yep. Oh, yeah, the day after tomorrow. That's right. So he'll be up here, which is the whole reason why we started the broadcast tonight. We were like, "Fuck it, dude. We gotta
make sure everything works." Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get Mike on here, and we'll actually have like a proper episode, a proper interview segment, and things like that.
And we'll be getting a GoPro soon, and not have the live view on Twitch. So we'll have an overlay and stuff. So this video will be different.
The point is that the podcast is here to stay.
Yes, sir.
The all of the stuff that we've gone through, all of the different artistic challenges that we faced, we realized that one of the easiest ways for us to get out content is for us to have a podcast, for us to have something where we're constantly, and this is something that's going to go with us on shows. So we're going to be doing interviews with artists in green rooms that we share. This is by no means.
This is our pocket studio.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of coined that term today because, like,
which I love.
Yeah,
I love that.
Pocket studio because it fits in our pocket. Because, like, the original idea for this was, we don't have any. Yeah. Anyways, and then we're like, we have already been in green rooms and stuff and missed a bunch of people that were like. As soon as we had the idea, I was like, we've already missed so many cool people that we could have interviewed, and like, so like. There's just a bunch of humble people where stuff doesn't come up and stuff. So, like, it's just going to be a great avenue to give people a platform.
For sure. I would have loved to interview the sound guy from fucking Whiskey. The dude who told me
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
I know. I feared, respected, and hated him all at the same time.
But it was also the best sound guy we've ever had. Like, that dude was so goddamn good.
He was on, that guy.
Yeah.
He's very strict.
Dude.
Move your amp 3 inches.
Yeah, dude. We had this sound guy who ended up being the greatest blessing in the entire world when we actually played at Whiskey A Go Go. But the sound check for it was just like, He's
got in our heads. He got in my head.
He got in my head
hard.
a lot. Yeah, so I had to set up my drum set outside of this fucking giant LED screen, which was a thing in and of itself, but I'm also practically behind the screen because of where they had me set up. So when you guys are doing sound check, I'm the only one. I just had gotten the set up, and I'm the only one that didn't get like he was asking you a bunch of questions, he was asking AJ a bunch of questions. And so I was just like, oh, you know what? The easiest way to tell if this drum set is set up properly is to play that fill from Lonesome. That, like, at the very end.
Oh,
you know how we
yeah.
Do, bap, bap.
Yep.
Like, when we do that. So I played that one time through, and the fucking sound guy goes, hey. And so I stopped playing, and he goes, hey, drummer, stop. This isn't fucking Guitar Center. I was mortified.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I have not gotten to check any type of volume, any type of this sound at all. And the only thing I did was just play a do bap bap. That was it. That was the only thing I played, and he got so fucking mad. And then when we went out to actually play the show, it was like the greatest sound.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was just like, it was dead on. Shout out to Dr. Evil. Even though you hurt my feelings, like you made me a better man.
Yeah, I wet the bed at night now. But yeah. Anyway, I got out of my head after that. So,
dude, it was and then also that dynamic doesn't change.
No, yeah, seriously, and then we know how to appreciate sound guys now. So like we go to the Maydays after that, and then like we know what to do. So the guy didn't have to yell at us, and it was just.
And was
stellar.
just stoked. Was just like stoked to work with us.
Everything
and
was stellar, and the sound was good. Like so, like we totally got ironed out, and that may have been a little bit of a hazing. Like
well, and then another thing about that too is like I get it, like when you're trying to EQ bass and all that, the last thing you want to hear, and also that stigma doesn't change. So AJ had talked to a good friend of his and a acquaintance of mine, because I've met him a few times, but he talked to Wally Ingram, who is a very famous drummer, and Wally said this. He was like, yeah, that doesn't change. Like, sound guys are always going to treat
I don't imagine. They have so much to do. I don't blame them at all. Like, you saw how much I was stressing up setting up the Ableton stuff, and it's us drinking literally a beer. So like, let alone you managing 6 other artists, and like, thank God we don't drink
you got a whole
live
lineup.
or anything.
And
so
then
we're
also,
actually,
if you fuck up the headliners sound,
and then it's a whole issue. So it's not even tailored to you. So
we're the featured act. So it's like, of course. So no, but that's also a very good memory that I have, because it's an inside joke that we keep.
The scary things are funny, seriously, and I'll post it on my Instagram and stuff.
My favorite inside joke is that you guys are a ska band.
We're actually a secret ska band. We just don't release our ska records. We convert them into hip hop.
Here's the thing, and I get it. From AJ's standpoint. It's like he's trying to establish himself in the hip hop game, but he's just so goddamn good at ska. And he's just like, he's such a ska performer. So
everyone who hears this should ask him about his secret ska band.
Ask him about where the ska show's at, and when we're actually, because dude, I'm telling you guys right now, and this is no bullshit, AJ is a better ska artist than anybody I've ever met.
If anyone asks AJ at a live show, like, anything about ska, you get a free sticker.
You get a free sticker, and not only do you get a free sticker, you get a high five.
High fives,
which is more valuable.
Stickers, because
AJ will not punch you in the face.
AJ, I can ensure in public that he will not punch you in the face.
Yeah. No, I'll slap my. But then again,
I can almost ensure sometimes in public he will not punch you in the face. It's worth the sticker, man. It's worth the sticker.
It's worth the sticker. But if you do get punched in the face, the speakeasy
holds no reliability. Yeah, we're not reliable at all. We're liable.
We're not liable at all.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Doing little classic mix-ups with our little words. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Your boy is buzzed because I got over here and
I know nothing about like
such an adventure to get this thing going.
Dude.
And so it's like I came over here and I was like, okay, cool. I'll have a couple beers with Trav and we'll record a podcast. And then I got here and then there was technical difficulties and I don't know anything about technical side of things. So I just let Travis deal with the technical difficulties while I drank beer. So your boy's a little buzzed right now.
Which is exactly, that's what I need.
He's a little buzzed right now.
The emotional support.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to get it, bro.
Truly just somebody to say, fuck, that fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, dude. No,
I'm really
you're going to get it.
not having that for you, you know?
So, first question that I want to ask, since we're doing the introduction episode now. God, that was the longest intro of all fucking time.
Yeah, no worries.
Since we're doing the introduction episode now, Trav, I want to ask you, what was it that started your... like not necessarily your journey to music, but like what was it about bass that really what made you decide like, oh, I want to play the bass?
The mystery. So I was at youth group and I didn't know how to separate music at all and I'm not musically inclined or naturally talented at all. I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah, but like I didn't know what a bass guitar was.
Right.
So like I'm at youth group and then I'm like, what is wrong with your guitar? And the dude's like, pick that up. And then I pick it up and then he like holds it to my chest. He's like, now pluck the string really hard. And I was like, oh, it's over now. And that was that. Because I was just like, this is such a weird, abstract, fucked up guitar. Right. And then I was just like, okay, well, it's so not as pressuring as learning 80 chords.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, if I fuck up, no one notices because I'm a bassist. And
Now, here's the thing about that, though, is that you got insanely good at bass. I mean, like...
paranoia at best. Both of us. I just need that.
No, the something that people that are like watching or maybe you're just listening or whatever, what you don't understand is how good Travis is at the bass. He plays a 6-string bass in a lo-fi fucking hip-hop group.
Thank you, Deathcore. You're almost
Thundercat. One day I'll be Thundercat. He's my arch nemesis.
To be proficient at the bass, a 6-string bass no less, because again, this isn't a 4-string. Like,
it makes it easier in a lot of ways, but I completely understand the overwhelmingness of it. Because it took me 5 years before I decided after my Roger Waters 4-string had an issue and we had a show to play and I was like, I am broke.
That's right.
So I'm gonna get good. Like,
well, yeah, because you had the Waters bass. Yeah. And then you had
which is
6-string.
Like, yeah, that is like my firstborn.
But when we started playing, you're right. When we started playing as a group, you were using the 4-string.
Yep. And then I didn't like that one, and then used AJ's one for that one show, and then that one started bowing too much, and then I used mine, and that started bowing too much. So
and then it was just the 6-string.
Yeah. If you play.
What is it about? Like, do you think the 6-string makes the bass easier, or is it a little bit more? Does it provide you more of a challenge?
It's a certain challenge as far as string spacing and stuff goes, but as far as like actually not having to move as much, because if I'm sitting in one little tiny pocket, I'm able to arrange my riffs to where they sit easily and I'm not taxing myself by the end of the song to where my arm's been jumping from high to low. I just move my fingers 2 inches.
Interesting.
So like that's the whole difference of once you acclimate to that string space, like don't be intimidated by bigger stringed instruments. You can still use your normal ones. Like I play on my normal guitar and then accent with my lower strings, which I personally feel like is kind of the way to not overdo it and
Yeah, no,
end
that
up
checks
like
out.
corn.
That checks out because I use your higher strings. Your higher strings are my toms.
Oh yeah, we
your
did
lower,
come up with that theory.
Yeah, your
Our
lower
secret
strings
theory
are
to
my
success
hi-hats and,
was
and
the
my
low
bass.
end on the guitar.
Yep.
Was
keep the low end with the
toms
low end
and kicks.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Lows rest with lows and
Yep.
like
and
it always tucks perfect.
Highs are perfect. Like, so whenever you're doing something on the lower three string,
That is the
tip
tip for people who want to live jam, like in improv.
Yeah.
That's the tip. So if your bassist is running that,
and
or
if
your
you
drummer
are,
is running a lot of toms on that fill, ride the open string.
Right.
And then you're automatically just gonna look dope, dude. Do it. So, you know.
Yeah, because I started noticing that when I would assign my right foot, so my kick pedal, to your bass, I would do it as your top, like your lowest string, but your top one as far as...
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, so like when you're hitting the low string, I want to be hitting the bass. And then when you're hitting the higher strings, I want to be doing fills, and I want to be using cymbals and be doing...
Okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind when I'm like programming our stuff in.
Because a lot of the stuff that you do is slides, so when you slide higher, I know I can end my note on a crash and then get back to one. Because after your slide, you're going back to where...
Yeah, it always goes right. Yeah, it's just a smooth
most
way.
of the time. Now, we'll throw different dynamics in there, but most of the time when you're hitting the end of a slide, your next note is going to be heavier up top, like lower.
Yeah,
lower
true.
So I'll hit the bass.
It's super. That's another tip for anyone playing guitar or bass or something would be just like, as you end your riff, instead of holding a note or coming up with a super complex fill, just slide with ease and like. It's just it makes
slide into the same scale.
Yeah, just slide into your next loop on your thing. Yeah, it's just like solid ways.
That's a thing that you have that a lot of bassists don't have, man. I'm telling you right now, like it's, it's
that
very
stuff
rare.
We ironed out together.
Yeah, like, it's very rare to find a bassist who's that comfortable with, like, that much soloing, because that's kind of what that is. You're finding.
I'm starting to incorporate.
You're starting
solos.
to scale.
Dear God has solos and tapping all the way through it.
Like
I just need to kill Thundercat.
We're going to. I don't know why you think that.
Because he's the best.
Dude, you're pretty fucking good though.
No, he can slap. I can't slap at all. For some reason, my metal head just cannot slap on the bass.
Slap bass is fucking
technically, I don't
sick.
even slap the bass.
Slapping the bass.
Yeah.
Now getting into more of the episode topic, which is the introduction to who we are.
Well, yeah. Wait, how did you get it? What is your first like moment with a drum set before we go on?
Okay, so that's a good question. So my first interaction with the drum set was my cousin Josh, who I now live with and is my roommate. Got a drum set. I think he was like 13 or 14 for Christmas, and I used to go over.
Which puts you at like 10.
10, yeah. 10, 9 or 10.
9 or 10.
I used to go over there. I lived with like his family for a long time. When my parents and I and my brothers lived there when we were struggling. But he got a drum set one year for Christmas, and that was my first like touch of a drum set.
Did he teach you, or was it like you just kind of?
That was no. It was neither one of us knew what we were doing. It was just kind of like, oh, here's a drum set.
Yeah, there's a 16-year-old gift.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny, that Pearl double bass pedal that I have. That was his.
That it?
That was his.
Oh my God! No, we should use that on set. We should play a retro set, playing all of our stuff. I have her Costco Kirkland Strat guitar. I want to use on some electric guitar.
That'd be dope.
I'm like really excited to
just
do an
like
attack shitty instrument, like
I'd be super down
garage
because
band,
because
like,
I have that, like I have like a kit that I can make.
Our old stuff, like my orange amp that doesn't wire out and shit. We could mic it and stuff, like just an old vintage sound.
We
Honestly,
should for sure do that.
That's lo-fi as fuck, boy.
We should do that for one of the speakeasy set lists.
Yeah, that's
Like,
really
that'd be
cool.
dope.
Yeah, I'm really excited to start playing live shows with
as-
just the speakeasy stuff. Like,
As far as getting back to your question, as far as like being like learning the drums, it was when I moved in with you. So there was a point in time, Travis and I had met through a mutual friend. Well, I had known him in high school. We live in a super small town, so it's super easy to build a friendship with somebody and then not see them for years, and then all of a sudden now they're in your immediate friend group. But Trav and I went to high school together. I met him there. And then I'm a mutual friend that we had who we will have on the pod next 2 days. My buddy Mike Samu said, hey, you know, I know that you wanted to play the drums. You want to start getting into that. Also, I got into the drums. Man, I wasn't going to tell this story, but I'm going to now because I've had a couple beers. I got into the drums because of Avenged Sevenfold.
yeah, it's tatted on your chest,
It's
bro.
literally tatted on my back, my chest. I'm a very big, specifically Jimmy the Rev, who was the original drummer for Avenged Sevenfold. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah,
of him.
literally top 3 in my book.
Yeah. He
Literally.
died when I was in high school. And at the time, I was a super emo kid. I didn't have that many friends. And I just, for whatever reason, was obsessed with Avenged Sevenfold. And
It makes sense. They went hard as fuck.
they were awesome, man. The White Album is still, I think, probably like the self-titled White Album, I think, is probably the best album to be released in our generation.
Seriously, and I think
lifespan.
so too. That's
I think
why we're
it's
going to
the
start
most-
modeling our stuff, white and black albums.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think it's I think the White Album, the self-titled Avenged Sevenfold album, which was the Rev had such a huge role,
so
in
much
that
soul
album.
in that record. Yeah,
he had so much. I think 5 of the 11 songs were written by him. He sang on pretty much every track. Like it was
he
just one of
composed
those,
a 26 piece.
for any Avenged Sevenfold
yeah.
like fans out there that aren't like super big fans. That's the album that has a little piece of heaven on it,
Which
was
is his solo
written,
work. Yeah,
Yep,
that's a
completely
26
written by
track
him.
composition
Yep.
written by him and Big Bear,
Yep.
like isolated.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
You have informed me
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So that's where I got. So my passion for the drums came from the Rev, and then I don't know. I guess just throughout the way, like I kind of wanted to, because I was in high school when he died and when all that stuff. I wanted to find a way to emulate him.
Yeah, that makes seriously.
You know what I mean? So I decided that I no matter how that came about, I was going to play the drums. Like I wanted to do that. And then in meeting you, you know, we knew each other in high school, but when we started hanging out, it had so, like, just the way that everything had timed up, you had just started playing the bass. So I felt comfortable.
Yeah, I was officially like 3 bass lessons in.
Yeah, you know, so I felt comfortable playing with you. I felt comfortable being kind of on the same level. And then I went through a pretty fucked up life event where I got fired from my job and I didn't really have a place to live. And Travis opened up his house to me and said, if you get a drum set and you play the drums every day, that'll be your rent. And
Which,
you can-
yeah, that's beyond wow. Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Just to
and-
be able to offer that
Yeah.
is like so much literal fun.
And it
Like,
was the start of something that I think, you know, again, given all the weird shit that we've gone through, it was the start of a very beautiful friendship. It was the start of a very, obviously something that, even though we didn't know that it was going to be permanent at the time, like it was the start of a very permanent relationship.
yeah, musical
Like,
relationships
yeah.
often end up that way. I've found at least.
and so,
Ooh, you guys are like meant to.
Wow,
Dude, yeah, we
that's
are. We're-
so nice.
we're music.
Yeah.
We're musical soulmates. We really are. You know, and that's something that I've always.
Fucking put a ring on it, God.
Dude, I will put a ring on it. I will put a ring on it. No, but that's basically, you know, when you talk the start of our musical like journey was such a weird thing because it carried over so well. There's beer in there, bro. And then now being in a project with AJ and with somebody who is already in that like hometown hero like status, it's been super fucking crazy to like, I don't know, to like, again, I don't
be able to be a part of it. I haven't worked up to this degree. He did all of the fucking footwork, and like that's why we're trying to put the best quality out there, because like we're in so far over our heads, and that's like super cool and appreciated, but like it's made us work 300% harder than we mentally ever should, which is great because we've grown as people from that.
Yeah, and it's made us work. I think the difference in this project is that it's made us work harder than we even, because again, we've, you know, you and I met, I mean, I was like 16 the first time we met, but like I was like really 18 when we started hanging out.
Yeah.
We were about 18, 19 years old. And we didn't meet AJ. I mean, like I knew AJ when I was like 22, 23. We partied together, we hung out, but we didn't start making music with AJ until we were on like, you know, 28.
Yeah, literally.
27, 28.
Wait, I was literally just
you had just turned 28.
Technically, yeah. Holy shit, yep. Yeah. It was like a week after, 2 weeks after my 28th birthday. Yeah, like in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then I turned, so we...
Fucking artifacts. I'm a relic, bro.
So there was a 6-year period where we all knew each other and just didn't...
I didn't know AJ until you brought him into my house. Yeah. Like, I had met him one singular time when I was walking through Walkies. He was like, oh, yeah, he has a studio. And I was like, cool.
That's dope.
That's dope. Anyway... And then totally did I like turned left on what could have been super crazy.
For sure.
Like super strange.
And you know, another thing too is that it's super fun to be the guy that knew both of you separately, and then now we're all in a band together.
You've wildly been a link.
It's super weird.
To like everything.
It was completely on accident.
From AJ to Chris Thorne, from
it was
like
completely on accident.
You're literally like a walking anomaly of chance ratios.
Yeah,
whatever your cousin is doing or your brother is doing with stats, with I don't know, dark magic is working for you, because whatever like spreadsheet he's got on you is fucking
I have no
detailed,
idea.
bro.
So that everything that we've come about in that situation has been just 100% by just me being in the right place at the right time. Like,
yeah, weird luck. I have terrible luck. I'm lucky to know you, I guess. That's your luck.
And my luck.
Yeah,
Maybe it is. I think you're luckier than you think. And I think that you're also, even if you're not lucky, it makes sense that you're not lucky because of how fucking talented you are.
Yeah,
See, that's the one thing that I don't have that you and AJ have. Is that like you guys are so goddamn good at what you do, and I just keep up with it.
You pick stuff up though. Like the difference is you didn't have a reason to pick up a laptop. Like literally, that's the entire difference. Is like you are a drummer and followed the drummer course. There was absolutely no reason for you to, like when we stopped jamming, I needed a drum track.
Right.
Period. Right. And that's the only reason I opened a laptop is because I didn't have drums. So like the fact that you're able to self-sustain yourself didn't mean you were like missing out on anything as far as like learning composition or anything.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that
makes sense to me. That makes me feel better a little bit, because like
feel better, because like that's such a it's a whole different life path. We walk different life paths because we separated our life paths, which like led to different insight, knowledge, and musical paths and knowledge. So
for sure. I remember being, you know, for the years that we weren't playing music together, because, you know, obviously we started playing music together at 18. Both of us picking up a new instrument. Both of us kind of coming into a new sphere of things. And then for 3 years, I feel like we made some decent progress. And then obviously we stopped living together, and we went through that like weird phase where like it's not that we like had
kids
any,
happened,
relationships,
just
careers,
life
locations.
happened. Yeah. It's cool, honestly.
And then to come
point.
back to it and kind of be in a better spot than we were ever in.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? Like to be, I don't know, man. Like I think you're 10 times the bassist that you were when I was living with you, and I'm 10 times the drummer, even though we didn't. Like you're the only bassist.
I really feel like it's because we practice dynamically together.
Right. And you're the only bassist I've had.
Yeah, and we were put in a position
I'm pretty sure I'm like the only drummer
to.
you've ever had. Like seriously,
literally.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so it's
why
like,
I picked up a computer. I was like, I know no others and can't like physically hang out with people, so I may as well like pick up something where I can kind of develop everything else, because I don't know, I wasn't very great at sustaining anything other than trying to like sober up and be a father at the time. So it's like,
which you're a rock star dad too.
Yeah,
as much as you are a rock star bassist, like you're 10 times as good at being a dad, and 10 times as being like, and that's another thing too, is like, you know, this group that we have isn't just a group of people who can play music together and a group of people who have made it work in that way. Like we all have our own like different things going on outside of it. Yeah. And
that's what people don't see about artists, is like the intense biome that surrounds AJ every day.
Right.
Instead of like, that's where the rap comes from.
Well, and the same thing for you too. The intense biome that wraps
we're
around you.
Both like,
you know, and again, I won't go too deep into it or anything like that, but like you're a rock star dad, bro. Like you are one of the greatest dads in our age group that I've ever seen. Actually, I would say like you and Mike, because Mike's a rock star dad too.
Mike's dope.
Like Mike is a rock star dad.
Yeah, I've turned to him a lot for advice. Yeah, I can give credit
rightfully
to
so.
him and my dad. Yeah.
And so, you know, it's such a I don't want to say it's a rare thing, because I hope that it's not a rare thing, but for me personally, I see a lot of kids are in our age group that have kids, and as somebody who doesn't have kids, you know, I'm in no place to rank or judge anybody for what they do, but I can.
But you are as an adult.
I can tell
you know.
So I can tell you that you're a rock star dad, you know, and so is Mike, and that type of shit. I wouldn't, because of the hope that one day I can have kids and be a rock star dad. Like you can bet your bottom dollar, bro. When Bella and I have kids, I'm going to be turning to you.
Yeah, call me. Peaceful
Solutions.
Solutions.
Same with Mike. Like it's just one of those things where it's
certain, like, you just know like who to turn to. That's why like
see
it's
how
not
fucking good you are at it. I admire it.
Because you don't like own kids. You have roommates, and like that's where I think that us splitting life paths was like great for my personal development, because I learned like selfless discipline.
Love that.
To where I like that was just like mandatory as fuck. Like,
you didn't have a choice.
No.
There was no
there's
like,
shit on the floor, get it. Like
Yep. And also too, I remember you know, like when I met your daughter for the first time, I just remember seeing the admiration that she had for you. Because you have to remember, I met your daughter, she was like a year old already. You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, she was already to the point to where like she wasn't necessarily.
Oh yeah, I ducked out because I had my hernia surgery and everything. Yeah. And damn, I used to be a fucking cat in Protect.
Yeah, you. Got a glass cabbage in the back seat. Take it easy, Buster.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah,
you know,
like, you either need to adopt because you'd be fucking hilarious, or like
I think, at least the first kid, I think I'm gonna adopt. Man, I do. Kid.
Yeah, if I literally accident. Yeah.
Milo daily.
Well, should I
Like, hey, fuck.
I'll
out,
have
bro. Never crazy white.
I know he just is a whole vibe.
I would have just been like, shut up, honky.
All caps.
Shut up, honky.
I was talking to him about planning a show up in the national park, one of our private speakeasies up there, and then having a couple artists from LA that we've played shows with, and
That's
their
dope.
friends come up. So I have a few artists from LA lined up for the next time we have a national park show.
I want to get back out to LA. And I don't mean for
super
the
ready.
fucking
This
Blue
is a
List
weird
show.
hiatus.
Yeah,
man.
I want to get back
out. Feel
out
weird
there.
this whole time. That's
Here's
why
the
we
thing.
started doing this.
You know what I really want? I want to go to San Diego.
Okay.
I wanna
There's a
play
bunch
in
of
San
literal
Diego. I want to
speakeasies
play
there.
in San Diego, bro.
That's
I want
why,
to play in
that's
San
why I'm
Diego.
so stoked to write our white and black albums because,
Yeah.
like, if we can slip in on those speakeasies,
Yeah.
like,
I
that's
want to
my vibe,
live in
dude.
San Diego. Like that's
It's
where I
really
want
nice,
to go.
yeah. That's a good, like, yeah.
Dude, if I could be 30
I
minutes
wish
from
that
LA.
the music scene it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What?
It's 30,
Why
45.
does that geographically
30,
not make
45,
sense in my
30,
SoCal
45.
head?
Look it up. Look up, Nichelle, I need
Oh,
you to
I
do some
trust.
research.
I trust.
It's like 30 to 45
yeah.
minutes from San Diego to LA. And dude, if I could do that, I would much like we've had recent talks about like, oh, we're gonna move to LA.
San
we're gonna
Diego's
do this,
appealing.
this.
I just
San
like
Diego's
I don't want to like
amazing.
haul my ass anywhere. Like I want to be under 20 minutes, but like 30 minutes is not a long haul, bro.
San
That's
Diego
like an
is
extra
so
song and a half.
nice. It's
I didn't
so
realize that.
nice.
Did you?
Yeah,
What
San
in the
Diego's about
fucking
30
frick?
minutes from LA.
Oh.
I think. Here, I'll look it up right now. I'll
Yeah,
look it up
now
right
I'm curious
Hold on.
because you don't change my life plans.
Yeah. Hold on. Because if San Diego's less than an hour away from LA, I'm
No,
going there.
that's too much. If it is exactly under 35 minutes.
San Diego. I need to find the LA.
Because goddamn it, Instagram has got me so sold. I've seen so many private beaches and goddamn cool literal speakeasies, and if I could just exist in an environment where I could go have brunch in a speakeasy, I think my girlfriend would die.
How
So
far is San Diego to...
So like what is the thing that like
Oh,
attracts you
that's
most
a
to San Diego?
real-
It's
Dude,
way longer,
It's
isn't
the
it?
greatest fucking city in the whole world. How long is a car ride
It's
from
the
San Diego
whale's
to LA?
vagina, right?
It would take an hour and 3 minutes.
That's so much though.
Like with usual traffic. Here's the thing.
That's right now.
Here's
What
the
time
thing.
is it? Like 9
Here's
p.m.
the thing. Here's the thing. San Diego is the greatest city in California. San Diego, a whale's vagina. It is the greatest city in Southern California. And here's why. One, San Diego doesn't give a fuck, bro.
It
the
is
streets
super
are
chill.
clean. There's very few
It's hella humid though.
problems.
So is LA.
LA's humid too. Yeah, it's right next to the ocean. Like, the thing about San Diego, man, is that they have a much more... The demographic that lives in
Is
San
way
Diego
less fucked up, snobby
is
too.
so much
I guess.
better, bro.
Like,
It's so much better. The homeless people are better in San Diego than they are
dude,
in LA.
yeah,
Like,
that is a point. Like I've
100%.
seen.
That's why there's less crime there.
Yeah, and
Like-
there's like, what is it? We were listening to the Duncan Trussell podcast, and like, he was making comparisons to when he lived in LA in the 90s versus now, where there was simple homeless stuff versus like, they have like shanty towns.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, there's
like
10
they're
cities.
like building
We were staying-
yards
dude,
and stuff.
where
So
we
like, I
stay-
totally see that, but like, I also see that for San Diego in the next
No.
15.
Well, yeah, for sure.
You know,
here's
like,
the thing. California's
but that's
a
the
shithole
slow
anyways.
degradation of California,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
like
that's
fuck-
a California thing.
yeah, I'm gonna be bouncing up to Oregon in the next like
dude, I don't know
years, years,
where I'm
years.
gonna
I'm gonna
go.
die in
I don't know
Astoria, Oregon.
where I'm gonna
That's
go.
my place, man.
Yeah?
It's so spooky. H.P. Lovecraft is from there. There's like
Makes
a
sense.
harbor where a bunch of ships sink because there's riptides. In the ports, there's like a secret subterranean
You're like, sign
level.
me up, bitch.
Bro, like it's crazy. Like homeless people and like crazy cults do stuff in a subterranean level under the city. And H.P. Lovecraft is from there. It rains like 85% of the time. I'm like,
I
I'm
do
there.
love Oregon. I
I'm
had
there.
I had an aunt that lived in Oregon. My mom's aunt, so it's my great aunt technically. She lived in Oregon, and we went up to visit her one time. And I'm not gonna lie, it was like one of the coolest experiences. Like she had deer in her
it's
front
beautiful.
yard.
Yeah,
Dude,
I saw my first deer in Oregon.
Dude.
with her.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're
so cool.
The deer so
natural
chill.
springs.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Dude,
so nice. Yeah.
So I drank a bottle of water from a natural spring. Like, I filled up the water.
I bet we
in the
went to
spring.
the same one. We went to the
Is that the same one?
I guarantee we did.
Dude,
I guarantee.
So dope.
Yeah,
so
no,
dope.
seriously, we have cool pictures. That was a great memory.
Yeah.
I know. I totally know why you called that.
Yeah, so we went up the coast from, here, Yucca Valley, to Bremerton, Washington, which is where my brother was stationed for the Navy. And we went up there and fucking tent camped the whole way.
Oh, whoa. How many nights did you stay?
It was like that's a good question. I think it was like a 3-week vacation. It was like, I was
That's
in
a long
between
time
my
in a
8th
tent.
and 9th grade year. So this is the summer break of my 8th and 9th grade year. And we just tent camped the whole way up the Pacific Coast Highway. And then when we got into Oregon, we stayed with my mom's aunt, my great aunt Joe, who has since passed, but she's super fucking cool. And that's where I saw my first two. They were like deer. Like, I fed deer in her front yard.
Whoa,
Like,
that is crazy.
Yeah, she handed me.
I want to see a moose. My desert kid wants to be terrified by a moose.
You gotta go way further.
I know. I want to go to
like,
Canada.
north. Yeah, you gotta go to Canada.
Montana, Canada.
Montana, you'll get some.
Montana. No, that didn't work. Oh, really? Yeah.
You're not gonna get like moose.
I want like a clomp my head moose, because I've seen all these snow movies and I'm like, I have to experience that once. Dude, I've seen a shark in the water. I want to see a bear and I want to see a moose and I want to live.
See a bear. If I see a bear,
I can check off my fucking bucket list if I like live from a bear and a moose.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a bear. Moose, little bit less territorial. Lot less territorial.
Well, if it's like mating season, you're like shit fucked.
Yeah. No. That's the thing. I always want to fancy myself like somebody who would be like, oh, yeah, I could totally hunt. No. There's no fucking way, bro. There's no fucking way I could hunt.
I could tell you I could totally do
living.
that, but I have gloves for when I go fishing, and I realize that I don't want to use those gloves, so I'm going to get one of those dissolving hooks.
Dissolving hooks?
Yeah, they have literal metal hooks that dissolve in like 2 days. Yeah. They do. Isn't that the fucking craziest thing? I was like, why do I have gloves and pliers then? And like my dad and cousins are just like fucking ripping them out.
So wait, hold on. How
nice.
long is the? I don't doubt that they have them.
Yeah, it's like a 24 or 48 hour dissolving hook. It's like made of some sort of like thing that is like soluble. Yeah. Weird.
My hardcore kid moment when my grandpa gutted a fish.
Please
so
do.
like my uncle put out the heart and it was beating. He was like, $100, $100 if you eat it. It was super tiny. And I was like 11, so that is the bug lizard age. So I was like,
you did it.
It's tiny. I could do it.
So did you get the $100?
No.
Did he pay up?
No,
he didn't pay you.
No, traumatized a child. Only for not giving me the money though.
Yeah, like if he would have paid you, it would have been a fair exchange.
Yeah, but then I just ate a fucking heart for no reason. So it'd be.
Is your grandpa still alive?
Oh yeah. Grandpa Chuck isn't my biological. But
Grandpa Chuck.
I was gonna call him an
dude,
asshole.
he's old timey as fuck.
Can I call him an asshole? He's an asshole. That was kind of an asshole move. Yeah.
No. What if he's just like? What if he listened to a lot of Johnny Cash and Pantera and was just like, yeah, fuck
like,
it, Ozzy ate a
I'm just gonna
bat.
feed you
like,
fish
you're fine.
hearts.
You're fine, kid.
Ozzy in the bat. You got
know,
this.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Logical.
Okay, so this episode, I think we're wrapping it up. I think we're gonna wrap this one up, and I think it's been a great. We didn't even do much of an introduction, at least compared to the first time we recorded it. That being said, I feel like this was more of an introduction.
Yeah, like an actual introduction.
Like
to the
an actual
and what's gonna
podcast
happen
episode.
with our music, because we've like founded a lot of stuff since we did the podcast. Just realizing that we had to kind of like get a whole game plan together.
Exactly. So I'm going to leave it with this, Travis. What are the top 3 video games that you've been playing recently? Because I've seen your ass on PlayStation recently. We haven't been playing together.
Yeah, it's because you don't play Destiny.
You're goddamn right I don't.
That's my number one.
I'll get into that on my next on my turn on this. But what have you been up to?
Yeah, Destiny, Pokemon always, and then shit. Assassin's Creed.
Ooh,
my honorable mention is Hatsune Miku, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, no, that was your honorable mention last time.
It's worth mentioning.
I don't believe you.
Just to some.
All right. So Destiny. What's been new on Destiny?
Oh, with the new expansion, and I'm like months behind, so I'm able to kind of like sit there and.
Okay, my number one is actually I'm months behind on my number one too.
Oh, really? What is this?
Well, I'm gonna have to go in order. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Oh my God, I did it backwards.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, you got to start with the bottom, man. Build the anticipation. All right, number one. See, I almost did the same thing.
So great minds, great minds.
Woo! Great minds. My number 3 video game right now is gonna be Cyberpunk 2077.
You got one of the working copies,
yeah,
huh?
I got one of the working copies. I got one of the ones that did well. They fixed all the bugs now, but when it first came out, I still had it from
re-released or is it re-released?
No, they just patched a bunch of shit. Weird. Yeah, they just released a bunch of updates and patches, which fixed most of the issues. Cyberpunk is super cool. The storyline for it is really cool. If you like Keanu Reeves, you'll enjoy it. Number 2, I'm going to agree with you on Pokemon. Legends of Arceus. I am almost done with the entire game.
You should do Pokemon Go too. When did Arceus come out? What is that?
This last year?
Oh, really?
2020. Whoa. I think it was 2020. So
whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So Legends of Arceus is like the open world map. It's not as open as you think it is.
Oh, yeah, the Breath of the Wild style.
Yep.
I'm familiar.
Now, the next game they come out with hopefully does better at emulating that. But Legends of Arceus has been pretty fucking good. Number one. Elder Scrolls Online.
I understand. I totally understand. I quit cigarettes to Elder Scrolls Online. Like it's just
so
Elder Squirrels.
Elder Squirrels, bro.
Elder Squirrels, yeah.
It's so goddamn good.
It's amazing. I want to play the new expansions, but like I have the hardest time ripping myself. Like
here's the thing. The last time you played Elder Scrolls. Like, okay, so I'm playing Elder Scrolls now. The last time I had played Elder Scrolls before now was when you were playing Elder Scrolls. So you have all the same shit that I do. As far as expansions and map stuff goes. Dude, it's so goddamn good. It's so goddamn good. And here's the thing. The updates that they've released recently are like all about solo play stuff.
Whoa,
like,
cool.
You can solo through.
I didn't like how multiplayer that was.
Dude,
like,
you can solo through anything now.
It's
cool. So goddamn good. Like, I've literally spent, I don't know, bro, the last, 2 weeks just fucking grinding on Elder Scrolls Online. And it has been nothing but rewarding.
That's dope.
Bro.
That's cool.
It's fucking sick. Like, I just did the fucking Elsewhere quest, which is where they introduce the dragons. So it's half Skyrim, half Elder Scrolls Online. It's so fucking sick. You get ability bars. It's like playing World of Warcraft but in Skyrim. Or not Skyrim, but in Elder Scrolls style. It's fucking
That's
sick.
really cool. I'm
telling you right now, bro, because I don't even have the newest expansion that's come out. The newest expansion.
I think we still have the same one then.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The
whoa.
last time I started playing was you got the same expansion that I got to start playing last time.
Yeah, I should hop on.
Yeah. It's so fucking good. I haven't even bought the newest expansion because I have so much shit to do in like the base game where we were playing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because me, you, and Terry were playing together.
Trippy. Let me know when you're online.
I'm online every night, bro.
All right, I'll download it.
I'm doing it.
All right.
Get it back on here.
Fair enough.
Get it together, Trav.
All right.
I'm telling you right now.
We'll stream it. We can stream it on here.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Oh my God.
It's Scooby doing that, man.
Dude, it's Scooby Dooby Dooby doing that.
I swear to God.
Holy shit. All right. We're wrapping up the first episode because I have nothing else.
But first.
Oh,
a word
but
from our sponsors.
first. Ooh, are we doing an ad read right now?
I don't know. Do you want to improv one?
I'll fucking make one up.
Run that shit.
Right off my dick, bro. All right, give me a second. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Fuck you.
Cool your jewels.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by because we get into situations. It doesn't matter if you're driving the highway. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your house and your AC is off. Sometimes our jewels are not cool.
They need to be cool.
They need to be cool.
Cool the jewels.
Cool the jewels with Big John's. Whatever Nichelle said.
Exactly. Also, a word from another one of our sponsors. Goldilocks butt plug testing service. If you need your butt plug tested, please hit up Goldilocks butt plug testing service. She will come while you're away. And back to our normal programming. Thank you.
That was fucking phenomenal. She will come while you are away. Well done. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for joining in. For those of you that did. And for those of you that will in the future. It's only up from here.
Yeah.
Brother.
Up and sideways.
Up and
I have so much more sideways.
like Goldilocks'
exactly.
butt plugs or whatever.
We
the
are
fuck you're
ready.
talking about.
There's an alternate universe we've tapped into. Don't worry.
Yep. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we hope that you guys will stick with us.
Thank you for the support on the new album. Holy shit.
Dude,
so appreciated.
Dude,
like, wow.
so appreciate it. I am actually humbled.
Yeah, seriously. It's the
yeah.
most focusing form of drive. We immediately started grinding on this EP. That's going to be out quick. And
oh, that's another announcement. We do have an EP coming out, which, again, I announced earlier in the episode. But
2 months.
Song, 2 months. Every song is going to be a different genre / era and decade of music. So you guys be sure to tune into that because we will be here tuning into it as well.
Yep, and live streaming it as well, our beat making and practice
Absolutely.
stuff too. So.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for joining us for the first episode of The Speakeasy Presents. Oh, no, that's not what it is. The Speakeasy Studios Presents.
The podcast.
The podcast.
We can never time it correctly.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. All right. Later on.
Later on.